I couldn't be happier. It's a really good team win against a very good team that was 25-10 last year. They lost some guys, but they have key guys back, and I think Adams is as good as any guard that probably about in the country. He's very, very talented, and I thought we did a good job on him for the most part. You're never going to hold a guy like that down for forever. I have tons of respect for Coach Chiat. He and I don't know each other very well, but he is widely known as an outstanding coach and a great defensive coach, and he gets his kids. I told our guys going into the game that this team is in a stance and competes as hard defensively and moves the ball against any team I've seen on tape. So it was a very good opponent and a good win for us. Lots of good contributions. I think we had 8 guys that scored in the first half, and to have 14 assists and not shoot very good. We should have had 20 assists and only 8 turnovers, and Devontae was 7-1, and I groaned on the 1 turnover. So, but a lot of good contributions, and just awfully happy for how hard we played. And defense in the first half was probably about as good, close to as good as we've been since we've been here. And we're playing a good team, so they're going to score some too. So good team win, and coaching staff guys can feel a little better going down to the islands.
Questions?
Greg, what do you think clicked at about the 10-minute mark in the first half? Wyoming was throwing multiple zones at you and gave you some trouble, but what clicked to break it?
You know, Todd, it's always nice to see the ball go in the hole, and I think Matt's been so uptight, and our guys are wanting him to do something. He got one to go in. We didn't make. I think we shot pretty poorly from 3 all night, but we couldn't really get one to go in. The style of defense they play is we're going to see a lot. People jammed inside that 3-point line, and you got to move it a little bit. So our defense was good, and the guys were flying around. We weren't scoring too much very early, but we kept guarding. We kept guarding. We kept guarding. And then all of a sudden the shot goes in, we get transition going, and it sparked us pretty good. But we guarded from the tip.
Coach, you no secret, I mean, Matt has proven he can play at the Division I level, but obviously the change of scenery, stuff's still new for him. What does a game like this do for his confidence level?
Well, Lou says all the time he's Aaron Carter, and Aaron Carter struggled for a while too while he's here, but he's a couple things. One's a great person, really works hard all the time, and is awfully talented. So, and our guys have been supportive of him, you know, and Friday he and Brenton didn't play very good, and they're very, very important players for us. They're going to have to play good for us to beat people. But Matt's going to stretch the floor. He's a tough guy. He's going to be a good player for us this year. Sometimes the shots don't go down, but at the other end, if you still defend and rebound for us, that's good enough for us.
Right. When you look at a play of the game, it might be one that didn't even show up in the box score. Everett dives for a loose ball like he was going into a foxhole. The energy that gave the team at that point was really important. Can you talk about that and just in general how well Everett played on both ends?
He does the right stuff, you know, and people don't guard him because they don't think he can shoot, and he eats up that gap and still gets his teammates open looks. And it's all about effort plays. It really is. I mean, we're not going to win any beauty contests by any means, but if you get guys that are willing to make the effort plays, you know, diving on the loose floor, taking a charge, really blocking out and getting a rebound or any of those things. And we made, and he and Devontae made a lot of effort plays in the first half. And if you do that stuff, it's contagious. You know, it's contagious. Everybody starts doing it, and everybody gets excited by it. And that's how we should play. That's how we have to play. We can play a lot better, but if you're playing that hard, good things are going to happen.
As a follow-up to that, well, I know it's only a good thing, but what is type of a coaching challenge? Is it minutes-wise and guys on the floor when you've got Brenton, Devontae?
I just blame it on Lou. He does our subs. I mean, if guys are not happy with their minutes, every minute they have, it's a job interview, we tell them. So you're going to make mistakes. And I came off the bench in college, so I know how that is. You're a little uptight, but you can't come in tentative. You got to come in knowing the game plan, playing very hard, and find your role. You know, build your value to the team. You can make effort points. So am I going to be the defender? Am I going to be the rebounder? Am I going to get my teammates shots? We have a lot of unselfish guys, so we're going to keep. We're far from the finished product, but we just keep banging away and keep improving on those things. We could be pretty good.
Brandon was a big presence for you on both ends of the floor, down on the post. Just talk about his improvement, his development.
Well, he's come a long way. You know, getting in better shape has helped him a lot. he is one, and I've told him this, with Miles Walker, Brant Whitenaker, Jake Kitchell, we've always had a guy at that position that has always been really they haven't scored much for us, but they were effort guys, and he didn't even rebound much. No, those guys didn't even rebound much. But they've always known what we're doing defensively and really helped us there. Murph's more talented, can do some other things than some of those guys, but he's not as good at that, the scouting report stuff and knowing what to do and doing it right all the time. But he's a sophomore, you know, and he didn't play that much. He'll get it. He'll figure it out. We're going to keep pounding it into his head. But he's a hard-working, energy guy as well, and him being around the basket with a physical presence is something we haven't had here either.
Brandon, flashing into that zone in that run you made was pretty important. You know, that's a heady play that he makes and kind of recognizes things and open things up, of course, for tryers and shooters. Just talk about what effect that had.
Yeah. I think Friday we weren't very good against zone, so we knew they'd probably throw some at it. It boils down to making shots. It really does. But you can't just settle for three. I mean, we shot 33s, but most of them were wide open. But in the zone, you can't get stagnant and just stand, and the ball still needs to touch the paint. You kind of attack from inside out and get those shots. Don't take contested threes early. But with him around that basket, with the guys that can penetrate, as long as we move it a little bit, they get their feet to the paint, dump it down there to him. I mean, he's going to dunk it on them. So, and then with him that flat on the baseline, when the shot goes up, he does a great job of rooting himself in to get offensive rebounds.
Coach Grant's one of those guys that comes off the bench, and Grant tries to make the most of his minutes. Tonight he did that. He had some big threes for you.
Yeah, he can do that every game. Just like that. That's perfect. But the other thing is, those other guys have to look for him. We didn't look for him the other night. I can't even think of what he was from the field, but there's a guy right there that's gonna help us win games, and he helped us win games tonight. He stretches the floor. Now he's got to build his value at the other end by not being the guy that they go at, and that's happened at times. He's got to really use his head. He's got to rely on his help. He's got to be a great help defender himself. But I was so happy for him and Matt both, because they shoot a lot on their own, and they put a lot of pressure on themselves. So hopefully that'll loosen it up for them a little bit.
Okay, you brought up the threes. You have a bunch of guys who can make threes. How do you strike the balance and give them the right MO for a game on when to take threes? I mean, that seems to me to be a balance that maybe some guys are trying to figure out.
Take them when you're open, really, it boils down to it. We're trying to be, when teams score, we want to reverse the ball a couple times. Give up a good shot early to get a good shot late. You know, it's just all those things. Those guys can all make shots, but don't take a contested one. I think Q did right away, and Brandon Burnett, when he came in, did right away. And all those guys think every shot they shoot's a good shot because they think they're going to make it. But you can get anything you want late in the possession if you just have some patience and move it. So basically shoot the open one, pass up a good one early to get a great one late. If it's not you, then it's for your teammate. But 30's a lot, you know. But they play a style defense that we're going to see a lot.
Coach, you're heading over to the Virgin Islands. I know you love these tournaments. How much are you looking forward to taking your team to another national tournament?
Well, I've always been looking forward to it, but it wouldn't have been much fun if we hadn't won tonight. One thing about these guys, and I say it all the time, and it's probably to a fault of mine in coaching them. I love them. They are good guys that do the right thing and represent. I have no problem taking them, Virgin Islands, Hawaii, Orlando, all the Alaska and Vegas, all the places that we've been. I don't have to give them rules. You come here, you're going to represent Indiana State University, and you're going to do it in a first-class manner. And we're going to have fun. We're going to go down there. We're going to play hard, and we're going down there to win it. But these guys deserve to be in a place like this and be able to enjoy it a little bit too. But we're going down there to win the thing.
Coach, speaking about the tournament, what immediate improvements do you see that you need to tune up before Norfolk State? We
still got to keep cleaning up defensive stuff, and you can ask me that going into the tournament in St. Louis. You know, I want them to be perfect. Some guy's going to beat you sometime, but I want them to follow the game plan perfect. And then on offensive end, it's just always ball movement and being unselfish. You know, if you're doing that, good things are going to happen. But we're pretty hard to guard when we do the right stuff on offense, and we just keep chipping away. And maybe 50% of our possessions were good tonight. You get to 60 next time. You get to 70. Continue to do that. So these guys will do it. They're listening. They're trying. And as frustrated as the coaching staff was, and I know our fans on Friday, you know, I understand that, but sometimes you lose. If you watch the ticker on ESPN, there's a lot of good teams that are getting beat.
Anything else?